I'm your Organic PT and I'm going to show you how to grow tomatoes organically. They are a really, really easy plant to grow. They produce loads of fruit and they're a really great plant for beginners. So when they arrive, they're probably going to look something like this if you're not growing them from seed. And you'll want to pot them straight into, I'd say, about a 1 litre pot. That's what this is. We want a little bit of compost in the bottom. This is what I always do, just so that the roots have something to expand into, really. But you want to plant it really low down in the pot. This helps to keep the stem supported, especially if your tomatoes have got a little bit leggy. So we want to really tuck them in there. They are young plants after all, so you want to keep them nice and well tucked in for extra support. But also, roots can grow from the stem of the tomato plant. So if we plant it far down, this will encourage additional root growth. Perfect. So that's nice and tight, and you don't have to worry if the tomato leaves at the bottom are buried below the compost. That's absolutely fine. Okay. There we go. So I tucked all of that in nicely. See how that's really secure? There we go. Obviously we want to leave just enough room at the top to give it a good watering after. But yeah. And that gives it a nice feed as well, because this is some nice fresh organic compost. Now to water it in, so that the water settles into the roots. And there we are. It will need to be watered every single day through summer. Through spring, check it every day, and you might need to water it every other day, every third day. But basically, once you can see that it's gone dry, you need to water it. Tomatoes actually are quite good at asking for water, because if they're desperate for water, they'll start to wilt and they recover really quickly as soon as you give them a good drink. So that's quite a good way to spot with tomatoes, but generally in summer, water them every single day. So once you've given it a really good watering, you want to find a nice sunny spot for it, either in a greenhouse or outside, as long as it's June onwards. I don't plant out until after June, and I just find that the odd unexpected frost can kill a few plants out in May. So from June onwards, find a really nice sunny spot to plant your tomatoes. Tomatoes like full sun. The more sun they get, the more sweet and juicy fruits they will bear. After a few weeks, you will start to notice that the roots begin to fill the entire pot. You can often see them coming out at the bottom here. As soon as that happens, it needs repotting, and it needs to go into a bigger pot with fresh compost so that it gets nice new feed, fresh feed, and also has more space to carry on growing. To be honest, going from this size to that is absolutely fine. You might eventually want to put it into something this big, but it depends on the variety. Bush tomatoes don't actually need any support, but this is a vine tomato, and so we want to support this because they can get really quite tall, like at least as tall as me. So what I have done is I've attached some string to a hook in the ceiling. You can also do this with bamboo, but this is kind of easier. So I started doing this over the last couple of years. And what we do is all you actually have to do is twist it round the plant. There we go. I mean, that's super easy, and as it grows, you just twist it again. Similarly, with vine tomatoes, you might want to prune them. So pruning them just means that some of the energy that might have gone into the suckers will then go into producing more fruits. And it basically just means pinching. This is the sucker. Almost looks like it's sticking out of someone's armpit. And we're going to just pinch with our fingers, pinch that off. You can also remove the lower leaves. Some people like to feed their tomatoes, so in addition to their organic compost mix, you can also add like an organic seaweed liquid feed or comfrey or something like that. I absolutely love comfrey feeds, and I've had really great success with comfrey, and I love the plant as well. But like I say, I've had some really good results. If you're going to do this, you will need to do it. Best time is usually when it's flowering, so just before it's about to fruit is the best time to feed your tomatoes. And then the simple bit, the fun bit, is time to harvest. So as soon as they are ripe, if they're a red variety, then as soon as they're ripe, full, you don't want them to over ripen because they can crack and overdo, and just wander into your greenhouse with a bowl and pick a few and enjoy. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.